Depending on the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on St. Kitts and Nevis, some Carnival festivities this year will be transitioned to virtual events, according to Chairman of the National Carnival Committee, Shannon Hawley. Ms. Hawley was speaking on the weekly web series The Youth's Toolkit, which aired on Saturday and Sunday.
We have to take into consideration the financial aspect of things. And we understand that, of course, Carnival is a social activity. There's no physical distancing per se when you are in a Juve band or a Grand Parade troupe. So everything that we do for this year, we have to take into consideration upfront. These very, very peculiar times and sensitive times. So what I have planned for the future may not be what I have planned for this year. For this year, the intention, and things may change because we never know what may happen over the next few months. We've been hearing that the possibility of St. Kitts reopening the borders. We know that it is, we can't stay closed forever. So we know that St. Kitts is reopening the borders. We have seen around the region and we've seen around the world what has been happening when borders have been reopened. So everything that we do for 2020 has to take these things into consideration, that COVID is with us. So for 2020, the aim is, of course, to host a number of virtual events. And the aim is also to scale back significantly on the typical Carnival festivities. And I think people need to understand this, and I think people will understand this.
Ms. Hawley gave some insights into what may happen to Carnival for 2020.
So we have to look at things as a worst case scenario. So the intention is to have both. So both virtual events, and you will see a lot of virtual events leading up to the December period. So you will see a lot of virtual, whether it's a day fete, a virtual band clash, a virtual bandstand, which are some of the things that we're looking at, where you will have the opportunity to experience that fete setting virtually, number one, as the days lead up to that December festivity period. And then we foresee that there can be events where social distancing can take place in an outdoor setting. So there are a number of national carnival events that we have looked at, that we have realized, okay, well, you know, we can seat individuals 6 feet apart. We can have individuals in an outdoor setting, patrons in an outdoor setting, which is critical because we know that indoor settings are an issue as it relates to COVID-19. So we know that there are a number of national carnival events, specifically the national carnival shows. You know, you have the Queen Show, you have the Talented Teen, GQ, swimwear competitions that all can take place with physical distancing. So those are some of the shows that we are looking at to take place during the month of December, because we know social distancing can happen with those shows. In an exclusive interview with SK Newsline, Minister of Culture Janelle Powell also hinted to doing virtual events for Carnival festivities.
We are still having discussions on when school opens, how does that happen, what happens, employment, opening the borders, tourism, you know, all these are discussions that are live at the moment. But if we are going to have a carnival, obviously certain planning does need to start now. People need to know in advance what they can do for what they can't do. And so we've already started engaging stakeholders to do so. I think if the answer is going to be yes, we can't expect it to be business as usual. It must be a very much scaled back version of what we're accustomed to. But whatever we do would have to bear in mind the necessary COVID-19 protocols. We've been able to, as we've seen, pull off a number of virtual events in recent months, probably more successfully election campaigns on a virtual platform that may or may not have, you know, be the way that we have to go. But we're engaging the public, we're engaging the stakeholders, we're engaging the health officials, and ultimately we will have to engage the government from a financial standpoint.
The St. Kitts Music Festival was one of the major entertainment events that was cancelled as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Ms. Hawley said the National Carnival Committee will be meeting with stakeholders to determine the plans for the 2020 Carnival. The Youth's Toolkit airs on SKN Unchained Facebook page on Saturdays and on the SK Newsline Facebook page on Sundays at 5 p.m. A radio version airs on Voice of the Caribbean Radio Mondays at 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.